Oh, what a night. So much fucking murder. In the gamer world, I mean. Did I just fucking voice crack? Should check the polls for the next hero guide. It probably won't be very one-sided, which is going to make it a lot harder to...
Holy shit!
You have chosen wisely. My light side main, the space Jesus himself, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I have seen a security hologram of him killing younglings.
You never take that off. You're constantly wearing it. You won't take it off for family dinners. You don't spend time with me anymore. You literally think you're Sonic. You literally think that you are Sonic the Hedgehog. You're constantly chasing me around the house. You even tried wearing it during sex. I don't know the last time you took it off and showered was.
Next is Grievous and Luke, and I am indeed excited to make those videos, but not as excited as I am to make this one. Because Obi-Wan, you guys... He is the creme de la creme of saber heroes, the perfect concoction of stamina, abilities, health regen, and sheer fat cock energy. There is no situation he cannot handle, no job too big. Put actual Satan on the other end, and he will come out with probably full health and 75% stamina. I could go on for days, but you came here to max him out as quick as possible, so enough ass kissing. This guide will be similar to the Anakin one, but his strats are different. He comes close to operating at Anakin level in co-op, but there are a few factors that hold him back in comparison. I'll get to those factors later in the video, so make sure you soak up all the info. Alright, let's dive nose first into the card setup. Fairly simple here, we're going for 100% offensive. Obi-Wan has unparalleled base stamina and health regen, so if we take his defense cards and health regen card, it becomes a bit overkill. It doesn't serve us much in terms of annihilating the enemy team. The same goes for his Mind Trick cards. Mind Trick is utterly useless in co-op. It does absolutely nothing. The enemy can still use abilities and you don't even get assists from it. Thanks, dice. So we're left with two offensive abilities that we'll want to upgrade with Give It All, Quicken Focus, and Forward. Here, we will be able to one-shot non-heavy infantry with his defensive rush and one-shot all infantry with his force push, assuming you charge it all the way. This is what I used for my entire Obi-Wan grind. I know that if you play him defensively, you'll be a bit out of your comfort zone here, but if you mastered the offensive Obi-Wan, you will turn into a god. Okay, let's talk about Critical Deflection, my favorite star card. Now onto the maps here. For maximum XP, we'll be looking into 3 maps of co-op, basically 2. Those maps are Geonosis, Kamino, and Felucia. They're all right next to each other on the map rotation, that's why Geonosis is even here. But it is an offensive map. You get 3,000 points per objective capture, and it can have good spawn traps like here on phase 1, here on phase 2, and here on phase 3. But the reason I tend to steer clear from it is because of this grease ball on phase 4.
You piece of shit!
So I do think Kamino is the best map for Obi-Wan. Our strategy here is a lot like the Anakin one, in that we want the hero as quick as possible. Within the first minute of the match is good time. At the start of your rampage, you'll be on cleanup duty. Get everyone off the objective, then move on to the lower regions of B to keep the area under control. Once the objectives at your back are clear, it's time to keep an eye on your radar for the next spawn of enemies. It's best to start at this doorway, because if you let the droids collect around the circumference of B, it takes a bit of time to kill them all. And the number one thing we want here in Kamino is time. Do not reveal yourself right away. Let them collect in the hallway and launch a fully charged push. This should destroy most of them. If you don't get many with this push, that means the spawn priority is at A, so instead of using your defensive rush here, finish them off with basics, and use defensive rush or your force ability if it is ready at objective A.
Warning, the Slayer has entered the facility.
Whoa! Ew! What the fuck?
His force push is a strong ability, but it requires precision. You'll need to get into the habit of putting yourself in a good position, where a push will be most effective. It takes practice, but if all else fails, combine blaster deflections with basics, and generally things will work out okay. Remember that you gain significant damage reduction when using force push, so if your stamina does happen to run out and you're in a tough spot, use the ability at full charge to regain your footing. That is one luxury that Anakin does not have with Heroic Might, because if you try to use that ability to manage stamina in co-op, there's a window where he takes full damage at the end of the ability's animation, and unfortunately, the AI hits shots perfectly here. For Obi-Wan, there is no damage window, so using his force push and defensive rush to regain stamina is a welcome luxury. I cannot stress this enough. Play as hard as possible on Kamino. Even though Kenobi is a beast here, he can still be beaten out by an Anakin, playing just as well as you. Be patient when managing crowds, and look for opportunities everywhere. When your force push is ready, and you're around a large group, think about where you're standing and ask yourself, how can I line these guys up better? Defensive rush is great, but it only lasts so long. So use it right as you're about to enter a group, and if you can, try to end it on the heavies or reinforcements. On Felucia, it's good to enter B through the middle and lead with your force push, targeted at the droids who have distance on you, so that your basic attacks and defensive rush are less punished. Try to cap the objective quick. As long as you have a handle on the hills here, it shouldn't be that hard. But it's a pretty open area, so be careful. If you get overwhelmed, you can still contest from back here and slowly take the objective back. On phase 2, it can be difficult to have a good force push at B, so it's better to scout out the enemy and plan a really good defensive rush. You'll want to come to this rock and wait patiently for the droids to collect before using a fully charged push, followed by a defensive rush. Take the rest off around A for 10 to 20 seconds, then come back and do the same thing until capture. As for phase 3, I like going to B, because it's usually a fast capture and gives us more time with phase 4, but objective A does give more XP. It's just without aid from your teammates, it's easy to be overwhelmed sometimes, even as Obi-Wan. I know phase 4 proves difficult for some people because of one reason and one reason only. As a saber hero, I'm afraid there's only so much you can do. Looking for a good push here has its difficulties. If you try the same plant in the Anakin guide, you will find that it blows absolute ass, and will probably lead to your death. But the best angle you'll get is right here, and it happens to be right in the tank's line of fire. Get in, get out, regenerate. Until the tank goes down, this is the best cycle you can hope for. But hey, once the tank is down, you can go nuts. Leading with your force push is always great, but be careful with how you use your defensive rush, because it is just one objective, and there will be 2 heroes here. Proximity Mine by Bosk, dead. Choked by Maul, aimbotted into a goddamn toilet. Launched by Grievous here, might as well hit respawn. Top priority is to draw their heroes out and eliminate them. Once they're down, it becomes a death-worshipping jungle gym for you. Just make sure you manage health as best as you can. If you've survived with Obi-Wan for the entire match, chances are you'll have enough battle points to buy him back if you die. So the aggressiveness meter should really depend on you. It doesn't hurt to use force push at this spawn, and defensive rush at the spawns to the left. It's generally a good thing for enemies to collect back at the objective though, because this means more kills for you and more XP. And in terms of XP, you're going to get a lot. 50,000 to 60,000 after 10 minutes on Felucia is a good number, but if you allow them to contest, that number shoots up more than an alleyway hooker. Okay, probably going to edit that out, but you get the point. Toy with the enemy as best as you can until they group up again for your force push. This phase can be just as good as Kamino, if not better, but most of the time people do not know how to navigate it. After about 200 levels of applying these strategies, you'll know why I like these 2 maps so much. Kenobi is just so smooth and well balanced. Alright, the grind awaits. Close YouTube and try this stuff out for yourself. As always, thank you for sticking around until the end. You are a true Chad gamer.